Hello boys and girls, welcome back to Digital Technology. Last week we had a bit of fun using an app, the Bee-Bot app. And in the Bee-Bot app we had to tell the Bee-Bot how to get to the flower. And I asked you guys to do the first 6 levels of that, which was all the ones in the garden. Now, I know for some of you that was very easy, and for other people who haven't done this before, that was actually very tricky. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about that before we go on. Now, the part that is getting the most people confused is, remember, the Bee-Bot, being quite silly, it can only do a few things. It can go forward, it can turn right, turn left, go backwards, and then it could also press the cross to forget the instructions to start again, okay? Or the pause, which will pause it. We didn't really need those ones as much. Mostly that forward, turn right, and turn left is what we needed. Now, it's very tricky because most people will think that turn right is actually go right, okay? And that's where people are getting confused. If you didn't manage to do the garden one, give that another try this week and maybe ask a mum or dad or someone to give you a hand. If you did do the garden one and it was easy for you, then you're actually allowed to try the Egyptian levels. The Egyptian levels are harder and they get pretty tricky at the end, but you are allowed to give them a try if you'd like. But instead, this week, you're going to be doing a different activity. The task for this week is I want you to write instructions for someone at home. One of you guys, either yourself or your mum or dad or someone at home, is going to be a robot, and I want you to write instructions to go from your bedroom to the fridge, okay? And you're only allowed to use the instructions that the Bee-Bot can use. So you have to tell a person to go forward, to turn right, to turn left, and that's really all you'll need. The last instruction, which can be open the fridge, and that's how you can get to the fridge. Okay? Now, when we do this, we'll need to make sure that you are writing your instructions on a piece of paper quite clearly. Now, you don't have to actually write forward, turn right, turn left. You can just use the arrows. You can do a straight arrow for go forward, or a turning arrow for turning left or turning right. And then you can just write them down on a piece of paper in order. Then I want you to give them to your mum or dad or to someone and see if your instructions work. See if they get them from the bed to the fridge. So in the end, it'll work like this. You might be going out of your room and you need to go forward 3 times. Now, every time you go forward is 1 kid-sized step forward. So you might need to take 4 steps or 3 steps and then turn down the hall. I don't know, everyone's is going to be different because everybody's house and kitchen is different. But when you do this and you put a turn arrow in, you need to make sure that the person is going to turn the right way. Otherwise, they're going to bonk into the wall, which wouldn't be good. Now remember, the forward is forward whatever way you're facing. So if I'm facing this way, then forward is this way. But if you gave me the instructions to turn to the right, here's my right, and now forwards is that way for me, because that's the way I'm facing. I'm facing forwards this way. If you told me to turn left, and then turn left again, now this way is forwards for me, because that's the way I'm facing. Go forwards, Mr. Staples, I'd be going that way. All right? So really today we're making sure that everybody gets a good understanding of turning left and turning right. And you're going to have to get to learn your left and right hands. Your mum and dad can know that. We'll be able to teach you that quite easily. But boys and girls, in the end, I want you to write a sequence of instructions with just the arrows, teaching a robot mum or dad, or even a robot you, to get to the fridge without crashing into any walls. So boys and girls, it's a bit of fun, and I'll be very curious to see how you go. I think that those students at school will give you guys a bit of a different task, because you don't need to get to a fridge here at school, but everyone at home has a fridge somewhere in their house that they can try and get to. So boys and girls, have fun with that, and I will talk to you all next week. Bye-bye.